time folds back on itself. Again, his senses scream as the very impossibility of what is happening assaults them. But the champion of light endures. Each time he gets a little closer, each time another detail falls into place. Now the trap works against the herald of darkness.
Y entonces, gente, ¿cómo estamos en la noche de hoy? Día, madrugada, tarde, amanecer. Espero que se encuentren muy, pero muy bien, familia. Acá retomando la historia de Alan Wake, como la habíamos dejado en el video anterior. Como vimos, nuevamente el señor Chirridos nos devolvió a la primera escena del juego. Esperemos que esta ya sea la última. La otra vez yo había pensado hacer unos videos cortos como por cada escena, pero se fueron dando las cosas. Entonces terminé haciendo los 3 videos, bueno, las 3 escenas en un solo video. Uy, hijo de puta. El paraco. El paraco. Este no es un paraco, es el albaraco. El papá de los paracos. Ta. Está con los raros, nos va a matar. Y nos va a matar. Esta gonorrea casi nos mata. Maldito paraco. Casi nos deja con las botas al revés. Gonorrea. Mejor dicho, casi nos deja como un joven cabal. Bueno. Prosigamos. La verdad yo pensé que nos iba a matar de un solo golpe, porque pues con una sierra como no nos iba a matar. Pero pues afortunadamente no. Y eso que estamos en el modo pesadilla. Mejor dicho, Alan Wake es como el señor Burns,
Right on cue,
indestructible.
bubbling to the surface from untold depths, the horrors come. The emerging monsters do not expect the warm reception that has already been prepared for them.
¿Cómo? Eh, pero pues, o sea, no nos toca ir a conseguir nada. ¿Ves? La ra 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 ra. La ra 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 ra. La ra 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 ra. Mm. Kasabian. ¿Cuántas hojitas del manuscrito tenemos? Nos quedan 4 en esta parte del juego. Bien. Bueno, corramos. Ah. Este huepollos. Y el otro que se hizo. De hecho, vamos a dejarlo como un joven cabal. Eso. Bueno, ¿qué más habrá por acá?
Next stop, saving Emma.
Vamos a salvar a Emma. Uy, otra vez un joven cabal. Fue puta. Esta hijo de puta. Este hijo de pollo. Uy, ¿qué pasó? ¡Ah! Los pollos. Uy, ahora sí. Allá está ese joven cabal corriendo. Uy. Uy, no, ya están saliendo muchos albaracos. Con motosierra y toda la vuelta. Pareció algo brillante allá. Era eso. Munición.
So I've been thinking about Barry. I don't know what to do about him yet. I mean, I'm not gonna keep him around, that's for sure. Al? Al! Ugh, little parasite. Your best friend. Really? That's the best you can do. I actually kinda like the guy. He's a plucky little butterball. He plays the clown, that's a hard road to take. But I don't need him sticking his fat face in my business.
Ah, pero no terminó de hablar.
The sheriff? From that shitty little town? They keep in touch. Barry's about the only guy who insists that you're not dead. How about that? I might keep him alive for a while. Just to see him go to pieces when I fire his ass. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
¿Ve? El loquillo. Voy a ir a mirar primero si hay hojitas por algún lado. Porque es que creo, no estoy seguro, pienso que cuando salvemos a esta chica, pues se va a acabar esta escena. O bueno, esta parte del juego. ¿Por qué lo pienso? Pues porque todo está como adelantado a como lo veníamos jugando normalmente. Uy, 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 uy. Uy, uy, uy. Unos jóvenes cabal se acercan. Y este man no se muere. Los berracos jóvenes cabal. Mi imaginación o los jóvenes cabales están más resistentes ahora. Ararararara. Me pareció ver algo ahí raro. Uy. Uy, este joven cabal. Uy, este otro joven cabal. Se separaron. Ahí salió Polo Polo. Bueno. Miércoles. Me quedé sin balas. Voy a ponerme chistoso. Vamos con la Magnum. Tararararara. Tararararara. Ay, ay, hay una hojita. Acá. Y vamos a ver si de pronto allá. No entra. No hay nada. Ah. No, pero esa forma de apuntar esa linterna. ¡Ay! ¡Ay, este hijo de pollo! Uy, uy, este joven cabal. Mentira, ese ya no es un joven cabal. Es un maldito Zuluaga.
So, one morning I was running. It was in the fall. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning.
¿Ve?
It was the sun was just coming up. And there's this huge...
Pucha, ya no hay lucecitas. No, el subfusil no.
Is it bad that this time I just went, oh, he's gonna be right
Ay,
there?
¿qué pasó?
Not as long as I show up, I guess.
Ah, fue pucha. Ay. La gonorrea. Uy, me salvé. Ay. ¿Qué se hizo el otro? ¿Qué se hizo el otro? ¿Qué se hizo el otro? Ay, ay, ay.
It's clear now.
No, 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 no está despejado. Ay, sí, sí está despejado. Uf, qué susto. Ah, los malditos paracos.
Well, art lovers, are you feeling neglected? You shouldn't. You know Eddie Rodman's got love for you, which is why I myself out of bed.
Por acá hay una
So I
notica.
can record an interview for your pleasure. Enjoy. Now, as I'm sure you all know, the annual Night Springs Visual Art Show is coming around again, and it's a big deal for all of us that are in the culture.
Por acá arriba.
If you can call it business, that's a little controversial, I know.
Oh, that's okay. Money makes the world go around, no doubt about it.
¿Cuántas nos faltan? Y nos falta una. Mm. ¿Dónde puede estar?
Held this year at the old Night Springs Drive-In Theater.
Hello, Eddie. It's great to be here. And let me just say that it's a wonderful venue.
Pues vamos a leerlas.
Thor and Odin Anderson, old gods of Asgard. I still don't quite know what to make of them. I know they used to be rock stars who modeled their stage personas after Norse gods. I know they're old. I know that in their day they fought the darkness as I do. I know they're demented and insane, ravaged by age and self-abuse. But there's something in them, something powerful that took hold when they were touched by the powers beyond. A thing that goes far beyond just stage names. Something godlike. Getting the Andersons into the recording studio was a struggle and a half. But once they actually picked up the instruments, something happened. They were two old men, and they weren't. They were doddering bags of bone, and they were barely contained power. And there was music. Barry rubbed his hands together. He knew how to pick a winner. Now all they needed was some direction on how to make things a little more modern. Barry had never produced a thing in his life, but he knew what he liked. He knew Balance Slays the Demon was going to be a hit. I have seen the darkness twist flesh into new shapes before, but encountering these giants is an extremely disturbing experience. It's as if the genre has been switched on me. There's something out of Pulp Fiction. Twice as tall as normal men and stronger than forklifts, their lumbering gait and slow-witted demeanor brings to mind some kind of mean-spirited caricature of a feeble-minded hillbilly. Emma wasn't sure exactly when the man arrived at the motel, but from what she could tell, the party started almost immediately. It was infectious, spreading from one room to another. He was mercurial, almost as if he was flickering through the scene, telling a joke here, throwing an insult there, oozing sex and violence and excitement. She had never seen someone like this before. He looked at her and smiled, and she felt her heart flutter a little. She knew he was the kind of man mothers warn their daughters about, but she told herself it didn't matter.
Bueno. Ah, no vimos a ver si habían más. No. Nos falta una página, chicos, pero pues continuemos con la historia.
Yeah,
Thanks for saving me again. I'd hate to die before I'm scheduled to be murdered.
I guess I have you to thank for setting everything up at the oil derrick.
Yeah, well, I figured that if we were going to go over this again, we might as well try to be smart about it, huh?
I appreciate it. You took a big chance doing that. You okay?
What do you think? I've died twice. I remember everything pretty clearly now. You said I was gonna be okay.
I don't know what happened.
Well, it's not your fault. I think one of those, what did you call them? The takers? I think they did something to the power and they got me that way.
I'm sorry.
But I got the keys from the dead guy in that room. And I'm not handing them over until you do something about this. I'm sick of getting killed.
Bueno, ¿y
Fair
cómo qué hago yo?
You seem calmer now.
I tried freaking out. It didn't do much good for me. I guess you get used to the craziest stuff.
Good for you.
Plus, I figured I'd take the edge off, you know?
Mm-hmm. Those herbal supplements are pretty good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to try to explain things to you now since you're calmer, but maybe this isn't the best time after all.
Oh, shit, yeah. Better not get all metaphysical on me now. Seriously, I'm like 2 sentences away from thinking how we could all be like atoms on God's skin or something.
Or figments of somebody's imagination?
Wow. I'm just gonna try to chill out and not think about that or getting murdered or anything, if you're cool with that.
Gotcha.
Ok. ¿Dónde puede estar esa hojita? Pues nada, protejamos los fusibles, dice ahí. Me pareció ver algo allá brillante. Ni idea. Una bengala. Uy, 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 uy. Uy, uy. Este hijo de pollos. Muere, joven cabal. Y está gonorrea, joven cabal. Y este joven cabal, sí, es que es muy... ¿Qué se hizo el otro joven? Uy, ¿por qué no lo esquivé? Estos hijos de pollos, jóvenes cabal. Ya. Uf. Y recarguémonos de energía primero. Ah, qué berraquera. ¿Dónde podrá estar esa otra página? ¿Y esto no nos da nada? No.
Okay. I really don't think they can get to the power now.
Thank you. That's a relief. Here's the keys that you needed.
Thank you.
Hey, I have to tell you, at the diner, I went there with him. The guy who looks like you, okay? I know I said that I didn't.
Yeah, I figured. Want to talk about what happened at the diner?
There was this guy from the observatory, and he just attacked the poor dude, smashed his face into the tabletop a bunch of times. It was horrible. I didn't know that he was gonna do that. I swear. And I just ran. I just left him there. I didn't even try to help.
There was nothing you could have done. It's not your fault.
Well, he's dead in that motel room now, so excuse me if I feel pretty shitty about it anyway.
You shouldn't blame yourself.
I just didn't want to get involved. I have this tendency to just drop everything and run. I don't think I'm a bad person, but I didn't even call the cops. I'm such a coward.
If you'd called the cops, we'd have dead cops. He's not human. Do you understand? It's not your fault.
But I could have tried to stop him.
Believe me, if you had, you'd be dead. You seem to be doing a little better now.
Yeah, I guess it just got easier once I got this thing off my chest. I just feel so guilty about it, especially because I didn't pick up on any of the warning signs. I just really liked hanging out with him, you know? He was smart and charming and funny and hot. The way you could be, I guess.
I guess.
What's the deal with this guy anyway? He looks like you, he uses your name. Why does he do this stuff?
I'm not sure myself. Maybe he's just evil or my dark half. He does a lot of the stuff I'm trying really hard to get away from. Things that just messed up my life.
I guess all those murders don't help either.
Yeah, I could do without the murders and the end of the world. Listen, I need to get going.
Yeah, go. I think I'm good now, I hope.
Good luck. If it all goes well, maybe this is the last time we meet like this.
God, wouldn't that be great?
Just keep those lights on, okay?
Chao. Bueno, ¿qué son esos puntos? Es para las habitaciones. Ok. Una granada. Y a todas estas no hay la paginita. Parece que no. La chica habló de la que del café. Voy a ir a echarle una revisadita una vez más. Me parece raro que dijo que pues el man estuvo allá y fue donde golpeó al otro, o bueno, donde lo asesinó. Y parece que no está la nota acá, ¿no? Porque aparecería en el mapa. No, nada. Yo no me había dado cuenta que había ya una perforación. O bueno, allá hay algo. Allá hay algo brillando. ¡Ah! Y la encontramos, papá. A mí me dicen ojo de águila. Vamos a leer de una vez la última de las noticas, sí, claro. Las
The
conocemos
Anderson
todas.
brothers should probably have been in a facility somewhere, despite their tendency to escape from such places. It could be argued that they had no business being on tour, considering their condition. Their lives mostly revolved around the laundry list of ailments and their endless quest for liquor. But Barry Wheeler managed them now. And whatever else they might say about Barry, he knew how to make things happen. And honestly, it wasn't like the Andersons were the most difficult clients he ever had.
Listo, muchachos, las conseguimos todas las noticas. Ahora sí ya nos podemos pasar de escenario. Tenemos una granada de iluminación, los tiros de la Magnum, escopeta y una bala de bengala. No, acá no. Vamos primero al otro. Ah. Ya no podemos entrar allá, nada. No entiendo por qué hacen eso. ¿Sí o no? No, pero sí podemos. ¿Qué hay acá? Munición de bengala, eso nos ayuda. No. Ahora sí. ¡Ah! Pucha. Y se torce el coxis ahí. Alan Wake. No. Nos fuimos al observatorio.
The fate of countless individuals hangs in the balance, threatened by the machinations of the Herald of Darkness. And yet, for a moment, the champion of light breathes a little easier. He has saved one life. For this moment, it is enough. And soon, perhaps, he can put an end to this.
Él puede terminar con todo esto. Bueno, acá que cambió, que salvamos a la nena.
Returning to the observatory for what he hopes is the final time, the man feels anticipation and dread in equal measure. Soon, he knows he will have what he needs.
Bueno. ¿Cuántas hojitas nos faltan acá? 3 hojitas.
Hello, I was expecting you. I've already taken care of the imaging array, but you should still look into securing the primary coolant flow. With some luck, you may be able to light the area before these things even show up.
Ok. Uy. No, pero que iba a proteger ahí.
Thanks for tuning in for the second part of our interview with Serena Valdivia and award-winning photographer Alice Wake. Now, Alice, we were talking about your husband, Alan Wake. Is that a sore subject for you?
Well, a little bit. Of course it is. The way I see it, we had our good times and our bad times, and on the whole, we had a lot of good times. He really made me happy. I don't mind being reminded of him.
So you're over him?
I don't know if I'll ever be that entirely.
Alice,
I still think about
no
him
te
every
equivoques.
day, literally. I still find myself hoping for... Well, sometimes I think I see him just standing somewhere, watching me. I think most people who lose someone they love experience things like that. But on the whole, I'm doing all right. 2 years is a long time to adjust, and I'm not really the type to wallow in the negative.
Well, I know there are a lot of stories about Alan. He seemed to have something of a wild streak.
That's not really what our show is about, though. Look, all that stuff really gets blown out of proportion. He had his problems, but it's really frustrating for me because people like to talk. They love to tell these crazy stories, and they never really knew him at all.
Well, the character he created, Alex Casey, is a household name. The books still continue to sell. There's been talk of a TV series, a movie, a video game. Must be nice to know that his work is still being appreciated by so many readers.
Yes, of course, but I don't really deal with the business side. I leave that to Alan's agent.
That would be Barry Wheeler. Actually, I just interviewed him. He's currently in the music business.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also Alan's best friend. Do you two keep in touch?
We talk regularly. Like I said, he handles the business side. I think we should talk about her film.
Yes, of course, you're right. I'm Eddie Rodman, talking to Alice Wake and Serena Valdivia, and we'll be right back.
Ok. Vamos a volver para el estreno de esa película. Proteger las tuberías principales, o sea, estas. Uy. Ay, ¿por dónde tengo que entrar? ¿Por dónde entro? Uy, este hijo de pollos. Este paraco. Y porque ahorita sí no los había encontrado. Toma tus 3 escopetazos. Bueno, niño cabal, muere. Uy. Así no mato a ese niño cabal. Joven cabal. Uy, no, ya se me escapó uno allá. Uy, qué hijo de puta. Uy. Este sí es un paraco de verdad. Bueno. He protegido las tuberías. Ah, rayos.
Very good. I believe we're ready to look into the sky.
Right there, Doctor.
No, me pucha, y ahora. ¿Y ahí qué? Ah, no. Pensé que era una... ¿Una qué? Un objeto poseído que nos iba a atacar. Uy, esas rejas suenan como una puerta. Creo que allá puede haber como una notica. Me pareció ver como un resplandor. Va a tocar darle la vuelta a todo esto. ¿Qué pasó? Uy. ¿Listo? Porque se puso en cama. Uy, hijo de pucha. Llegó el albaraco. ¡Ah! De pollos. Muere. Maldito paraco. Este sí es el doctor. Muere, doctor. Ah. ¿Qué se hizo el otro? Estoy casi seguro que ahí había un joven cabal. Uy, ¿qué es eso? Tan raro. Uy. Bueno, estoy seguro que la luz se va a dañar cuando pase por ahí. Y es que es unas ratas, señor, son unas ratas. Muere, paraco. Uy, este sí es un paraco de verdad. Toma, Zuluaga. ¿Qué es esto? Yo no lo había visto antes. Escopeta de combate, wow. Tiene que ser severa escopeta. Ya la probamos. Ah, uy. ¿Será que hay más por ahí? Sí. Ah, cierto que es que estos... ¡Qué paraco! Pues pucha, maldito. Era el doctor Tocino. Ay, ya casito. La escopeta sí está buena. Ay, por ahí había como una cosa para recargar armas. No, era abajo. Y por acá. Ah, yo le di la vuelta al... Mira, una notica por ahí. Vamos por esa notica. Ah, acá. Nos quedan una notica. ¿Dónde puede estar esa notica? Acá no está la notica. Yo creo que si nos están dando... O bueno, hay tantas armas regadas por acá, es porque... ¡Ay! Porque algo nos va a aparecer ahora. ¿Me avisas? ¡Hijo de puta! Acá estos paracos. Al doctor Tocino. Muere. Vean acá un joven cabal. Uy, está gonorrea, joven cabal. Da mucho puñal. Joven cabal. Ah, me mato, esa gonorrea. Uy, no me mato. Los malditos paracos no dejan de aparecer, hola. Una plaga. Casi me dejan con las botas al revés. La escopeta está chévere. La escopeta es muy útil. No, no veo paginitas por este lado. Uy, 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 uy. Uy. Hijo de pucha. Uy. El centro democrático está protegiendo a ese. Esta escopeta está bacana. Yo pensé que por aquí iba a haber una paginita o algo, pero no. Bueno, pues nada. Este le ha servido el ejercicio. Ya no se cansa como antes. Ahora.
Come on in.
Ahorita.
This is what you look like. Does that bother you? I bet it does. I'm not just wearing your face, you know. It goes a lot deeper than that. There's a lot of you and me. All the best parts. At first, I was just an idea. But they kept telling all those stories about you. You already had that rep. And then you disappeared mysteriously. And then, the stories about bad, crazy Alan Wake came true. And here I am. That's the best part, isn't it? When that happens, you can always count on Cauldron Lake. I'm just as real as you are. And I'm the improved version. No fears, no doubt, no weaknesses, no self-deception here. I don't let anything drag me down. I know you like I know myself. I know it bothers you that I'm like this, that I use your name, crawl my way into your life. But I only do it because I'm better at being you than you ever were.
Este sí es el mismísimo doctor. Y como raro el doctor habla mucha mierda. Uy, no. Ah, no. Ah, juepucha.
You need to protect the telescope or we can't complete the signal.
Uy. Bueno. Me mató un joven cabal. Ah.
You need to protect the telescope or we can't complete the signal.
Los jóvenes cabal sí son la cagada. Y aunque este sí es mucho albaraco. Bueno, joven cabal, muere. Uy, está gonorrea, me va a mandar puñal. Maldito paraco. Me voy a dejar con las botas al revés, está gonorrea. Pero baila. Uy, ¿y eso qué fue?
There, I have it. But I wish these things would stop blatantly violating the laws of physics in my observatory. That's just rude. Are you all right?
I'll live.
I'm glad. I'll send the lift down to you. I remember our previous encounters very clearly now. But technically, if this really is a loop in time, we've never met before. I don't know why our awareness persists, but it's bloody fascinating.
Uy, no. Malditos, casi nos pelan. Pero bueno, vamos a leer las noticias antes de entrar.
The film noir poster reminded me of Alex Casey, the detective's cool exterior never cracking even with the gun pointed in his face. In the back room, all the lights had been turned off, except for the lone spotlight which illuminated the bright red fire extinguisher on the wall. This act of creation is exhilarating and frightening. Subtext and symbols loom eager to take effect. Causality and consequence become domino chains that stretch into infinity. The more fundamental the change, the more unpredictable the variables become. Reality is too complex to control completely. Ordinary questions become meaningless. Who created who? What is really real? Everything is as real as everything else. You learn to let go of the things you can't control and go with the flow, or go insane. The man before Dr. Meadows was handsome and slick. He moved with lazy confidence and didn't bother to pretend that he wasn't staring at her. She didn't mind, at first. Then the man flicked open the knife and shoved her out of the control room so she wouldn't hear the signal, whatever it was. Outside, she pulled her lab coat closed and thought about running. She didn't. She didn't think she'd get very far. Not from him. She never was entirely sure why he spared her.
Nos falta una notica. Pero pues nada.
Doctor?
You know, I know physicists who would give 15 years of their lives for a chance to experience something like this.
I'd imagine that being stalked by horrible axe murderers would curb their enthusiasm a little.
Clearly you've never met hardcore physicists.
I'm glad you're in such good spirits, but
The signal! Yes, it's completed.
finally. If all goes well, this should be the last time we go through the loop.
You know, I just realized that I don't have any memory of what happens after you leave. What does that mean?
I don't think it means anything. If everything goes well, you just keep going. I don't show up here like this again, no more bad guys. Things go back to normal.
Let's hope you're right. I'd love the opportunity to look into this in more detail.
Looks like you've accepted the situation.
I'm a pragmatist. If this is a delusion, at least my first psychotic episode is anything but boring. Really, Mr. Wake, at the end of the day, I'm a scientist. I love mysteries. I love not knowing. Whatever else this might be, it's absolutely fascinating. I wonder how far this reaches. Is everybody in the world experiencing this?
Who knows? I think reality's probably pretty fragile right now. Doctor, I can see you're very enthusiastic about this. I'd appreciate a bit of discretion.
Are you suggesting that we should suppress this?
No, you can do what you like, but I want you to leave me out of it.
But surely, with the things you know, the things you've experienced, you can replicate any of these results. We could—
Let me be blunt. If you drag me into this, I'll deny everything. I'll lie like my life depended on it. And writers are damn good liars. Word of advice. This is things man was not meant to know territory. You get into this, Chances are you'll open up a door into a world of hurt. Believe me, I know.
I see.
Ay, no, con la doctora. Bueno. Ujú. ¿Será que sí? Esa es la... No creo. ¿O será que sí?
In a strange way, he feels at ease. He is armed with his own words, and when the time comes, they will be enough or they will not. For now, he's content to let the currents take him toward the final confrontation.
No, creo que no encontramos la última página de este episodio.
Once more, we return to the drive-in. If he's aware of the absurdity of arming oneself with a few sentences and standing against a power that can pierce time itself, he doesn't show it. The man has his share of weaknesses, perhaps more, but cowardice is not among them.
¿Ve? ¿Y por qué es que llegamos acá? Miremos a ver. Observatorio. Ah, no, sí la obtuvimos. Así las obtuvimos todas. Bien. Estamos volando. Bajito, pero estamos volando.
I'd found her film from the pile of containers in the back. I'd threaded it into the projector. I swallowed hard, staring at the screen, hearing her voice. The sunrise I remembered so well only moments away. And then Mr. was there, nailed by the projector's beam, caught in his own trap. He shouted at me, first in confusion, then rage. And then the sun came up and things started to burn.
Bueno, ¿cuántas nos faltan del autocine? Uy, yo creo que esta fue que no la encontramos. Esa sí nos faltan 4. Ah, pucha, no encontramos una. Pues ya, ¿qué podemos hacer? Uy, está hijo de puta.
Oh, you got yourself a little plan, do you?
Mierda. No. Uy. Hijo de pucha. Ah. ¿Se ve la escopeta? ¿Qué se hicieron? ¿Qué se hicieron los paracos? Ah. O sea que la escopeta le gana a la motosierra. Está bien, Ay, ay, ay. Ah, cierto. Ah, te hijo de puta. Estos hijos de puta paracos de mierda. Estos malditos sí estaban muy guaches, hola. Ve, no veo ni una notica. Me quedé sin munición de la escopeta. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. ¿Qué dice ahí? No, esta escopeta no la cambian por nada del mundo. Yo creo que esta es la mejor arma del juego. Bueno, prendamos este. Ahora este. ¿Ves? Algo muy parecido a lo que uno hace en la realidad. Y ahora, no sé. Bajemos esto. No, la verdad siempre hago esto como mala suerte, ¿no? O sea, nunca... Ve. Jugamos este. ¿No? Ahora sí. ¿Y qué vienen por ahí las arañitas? Ay, vean, esto está diferente. Porque antes la salida era por ahí. Y ahora... Uy, corra. Ah. Corra. Uy. Otra vez hay electricidad por allá. Ah. Uy. Estos berracos que... Ya muy paracos. ¿Será que nos tenemos que meter por acá? Yo creo que sí. ¡Corra, corra, corra! Si ahí hay un cilindro es porque algo va a salir por ahí. ¿O será que no? Ya estamos todos psicoseados. Ya están matando un perro. Ay, 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 ay. Ay. La oscuridad nos abrió la puerta. En vez de dejarnos encerrados, ¿no? ¿Y aquí qué? Pasemos, pasemos, pasemos. ¡Ah! No, no hay nada. Bueno, gente, ya en este episodio ya terminamos el juego. Vamos sacando conclusiones de ello. Y pues nada, me las dejan en la caja de comentarios. Yo ahorita también compartiré. Ah, pues puta.
You're never getting out of this, Wake. Never. Don't worry. I'll take care of your wife and your life.
¿Y ahí qué? Uy, mierda. Mandaron 2 paracos. Uy, fue puta. Los malditos paracos. Ya, ahí está el doctor Uribe, digo, el doctor Alvaraco. A mí no me vas a poner las botas al revés. Uf, nos salvamos. Pero todavía quedan muchas noticas por recoger. Uy. Uy, 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 uy.
Think you're doing, but I'll send you right back to the beginning.
Muere, joven cabal. Pucha, me estoy quedando sin armas. Y cada vez llegan más convivir. Ahí hay una notica. Uy, muchachos, encontramos otra notica gracias a mi negrita que está acá al lado mío, viéndome jugar. Ella es penosa. Entra en el edificio del proyector. Ok. Uy.
What?
Ah, pero...
You think whatever it is you're gonna do is gonna make a difference? This'll end up just like before.
Escucha, cojamos armas. Yo los veo como muy lejos. Uy, ¿qué se hizo? Yo voy a ir por la ballesta. Ay, acá hay una notica. Aquí está la notica. Bien. Para subir allá, ¿cómo es? Allá yo veo una luz. Ah, pero es una luz de un carro. Es que la ballesta es muy buena. Ay, pero... ¿se cambia la ballesta por la escopeta? Pues pucha. No. No, la escopeta es demasiado buena. Mejor que la ballesta. Uy. Ah. De berraco. Ahí viene alguien y no lo veo. No. No creo que la Magnum sea... que la escopeta recortada sea mejor que la Magnum. Por acá hay una notica. ¿Sí la ven? Ay, 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 ay. Ah, pucha, joven cabal, pero usted qué hace acá. Ay. Mi madre, hola. Por aquí hay una notica. Por aquí. Ah, vea, mi negrita me la señaló. Ah, mi negrita es la mejor. Ella es tímida, ella es tímida. Ay, vean, allá hay otra notica. Por acá creo que la vi. Pero... toca salir. Ah, pucha, pero es que el man se pega unas trabadas. Pues esa neblina está como fea. Uy. ¿Están escuchando eso? Por ahí hay alguien. Uy, las encontramos todas. ¿Sí o no? Uy, muchachos, parece que las encontramos todas. Ah, sí, señor, las encontramos todas. Ve, qué guerra que era. La verdad, la primera vez que pasé este juego no recuerdo haber encontrado todas las páginas. Pero eso es genial. ¿Dónde está esa voz que estamos escuchando? ¿Será que es la pelada que está en esta cabaña? Pero... ah, sí, ahí está. Prendamos la luz.
Oh, hey.
I'm hoping I can put an end to this now.
You'd better. I really don't want that to happen to me again. It's like somebody vomited in my brain, like a sleazy movie that keeps looping in my head.
I'll stop this, I swear.
You know the part that's really screwed up? If you mess it up, it'll just keep happening forever, right? I don't think I can deal with that.
Don't think about that.
I don't think of anything but.
Hey, afterwards, when all this is done, look me up. This thing, I can probably help you deal with it.
I don't know. It's almost like I'm not even in the same world anymore. Everything's just weird now.
Yeah, I know. A lot of that'll pass with time, but being touched by the darkness, it's rough on you. It's a lot to process, and I just don't want you to get completely screwed up by this.
Might be a little late for that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there's degrees. At least you're not at a point where you go around picking fights with people over not changing their light bulbs often enough.
What?
Never mind. All I'm saying is, you're not alone with this. And anyway, you're friends with Alice, so, you know, any friend of hers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bien, llenémonos de municiones. Pam, 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 pam. Y vamos a ver qué más hay por acá. Recarguemos la escopeta.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the third part of our pre-recorded interview with Serena Valdivia and renowned photographer Alice Wake. So, tell me about the film.
Muchachos, antes de irnos para allá, le damos todas las noticas.
My writer's block got worse. I didn't sleep much anymore. My life with Alice seemed like a constant fight. I was a wreck. Alice took steps. She booked a vacation in Bright Falls, a small town in Washington. It was supposed to be a chance to break out of the cycle I was in. She didn't know about the darkness in Cauldron Lake. Alice, my wife, the best thing that ever happened to me. She smiles and the darkness lifts. For her, I've tried things I otherwise never would. I've never really minded if it's made me feel like a fool. She's a photographer, and the world she sees through her lenses is unique and beautiful. She has the vision. She sees things others don't and knows how to make them visible to everybody. She did it with me, too. She teased out things I was only vaguely aware of. She always saw me in the best possible light. It's been 2 years since I came here. Being that long without Alice breaks my heart, and I know it broke hers. I know she thinks I'm dead. How could I blame her for that? It would be a crime to pretend that she owes me anything. She took all the stupid, self-indulgent bullshit I brought into her life and still stood by me. Still loved me. It's no betrayal. But I'm a better person now than I used to be. I want to be that person with her. The Taken were always single-minded. They had a certain animal cunning, but they weren't very intelligent. That's one reason why they prefer melee weapons. Actual firearms are too complex for them to use. That's why seeing the one who threw grenades at me surprised me. But of course, they aren't actually grenades. There's no pin to pull, no fuse to set off an explosive, just concentrated darkness. The car seemed to sail through the crisp mountain air in slow motion, spinning around one axis almost lazily. The moment was hypnotic. Then it struck the pipeline in a shower of sparks, the impact turning the windshield into a burst of safety glass. As it hit the ground, I snapped out of my reverie. The car was rolling downhill, slowing down as every bump killed momentum but still coming. The fence wouldn't be enough to stop it. The dark place is utterly hostile to human life. It eats at your mind, wants you to succumb to madness. Your own thoughts can turn against you. Every shadow conceals a threat that attacks at the slightest sign of weakness. You're under endless assault. Every day is a struggle for survival. But I've learned to take care of myself. I focus on Alice, our life together, my need to be with her. That takes me a long way in the dark place. As long as I have my gun and the flashlight. I have changed. I know who I am now. I know that I can write my own fate. Bright Falls taught me that. I know that indulging my weaknesses, giving in to fear and complacency will only drag me down. The dark place taught me that. I'm no Zen master. I've not attained enlightenment. But I have learned to let go of the things that I don't need. I know that without that balance within, I become my own worst enemy. Now I strive for equilibrium, and with that, I'm strong enough to get where I want. It's obvious that for all his power, Mr. is an agent of another greater being. The dark place he came from is full of terrible alien intelligences, dark presences, and none of them should be let loose in our world. He serves one of them. He'll open the way for them if I don't stop him. But he'll do more. He'll take over my life. He already has my face. He already uses my name. He'll become Alan Wake in every way imaginable and corrupt everything, unless I can stop him. The trap Mr. has set for me is as simple as it is impossible. Whenever I reach him, he sends me back to the beginning of the maze. It's a loop in time. I go through it only to end up where I started. There's a brutal genius to it. If I die, it's over for me. If I survive, I end up where I started. Sooner or later, the odds will catch up with me. And in the meantime, he gets to toy with me. But that's why I have a chance. He's caught in this pattern just as much as I am. I know where he'll be, and I'm prepared. I have created the weapon that can put an end to this, a blueprint to a new reality. All I have to do is survive long enough to use it. My arrival from the dark place will be painful and difficult. These pages may be lost. But one way or another, I'll send the parts I really need to myself. If I make it outside, I have a chance. Mr. is more powerful than I am, but he can't change the rules in the middle of the game. He's not a creator. I am. To change the world, you must craft a blueprint for the new reality. Any work of art will do, as long as it's a genuine act of creation. That's what the energies of the dark place respond to. The results may be subtle and perplexing, or far-ranging and momentous. My area of expertise, the written word, gives much more precise results than music or interpretive dance would, for instance. But words can be extremely dangerous. What you define may become reality, but so can that which you imply, even if you don't realize you're doing so. For Serena Valdivia, burning the midnight oil was more of an exception than a rule. A procrastinator and a perfectionist, she often worked when she wouldn't be disturbed. Tonight was especially important. The film festival would open tomorrow, and there was still so much to sort out. It wasn't that the work hadn't been done. She just didn't feel like she had completely mastered everything yet. There's more to fighting the Taken than just burning away the darkness that protects them. When I'm fighting for my life, I find myself slipping into a state of intense concentration that makes the beam of my flashlight seem more powerful and focused. I used to think it was just my imagination, something brought on by the adrenaline and fear of death. But now I'm not so sure. I've been touched by powers that I can't begin to truly comprehend. And they've left a mark. I'm starting to think this might be a part of it. When the dark man's eyes suddenly locked into Serena's, she flushed hot. They ignited a black fire in her. He was talking. He wanted the power turned off. He said something about the projector booth. She hooked a finger under his belt buckle. He grabbed a hold of her throat and twisted until it hurt. Somewhere deep inside, a part of her screamed in paralyzed horror, but the moan that escaped from her throat had no panic in it. "Pay attention," he said. "Business first." His eyes glittered shamelessly. Hers did too. The clothes I wear now I shaped from dreams and memories. It's an old outfit, originally from the 90s. The last time I wore it was when I was still writing and Alice and I took a vacation in the desert before our troubles began. The night before, we'd been at a party, and I had dressed to the nines. On that lazy day, I put on these old clothes, worn and comfortable. Alice made a joke about grunge. I felt a little embarrassed, but I stuck with them. We were very happy. I'm sheathed in good memories to remind myself of what is at stake. I held the film canister in my hands. I saw her name written across it in big letters, followed by the title. It was a time capsule, moments snatched from times gone by, from a past that I hoped could also be our future. It was my salvation, our chance to be together. A tin can with a bit of magic in it that she didn't even know about. Something I could put to good use. There were only moments left before I had to face him.
Bueno, gente, conseguimos todas las noticas y nada. Vamos a ver cómo nos va. Nos queda la última. Ah. Bien. No estuvo tan difícil. La vuelta era llegar con bengalas.
Again, the champion of light enters the final trap. The new reality is almost here. All he needs to do is change the details of the scene, push it past the breaking point, and the rest will snap into place.
Bueno. ¿Qué más falta? Ahí por acá. Ah, la película. Este póster, ¿no? ¿Dónde tengo que estar? Acá. Listo. Ahora sí. Se vengan los chingadazos.
Oh, come on, buddy. Why don't you... What? What is this? No! No! You can't do this! All I did was take the things you always wanted and never had the balls to go for. It's my turn now! It's my life! It's my life!
Alan? Is it really you?
It's really me.
How? I love you.
I love you.
A woman, a man, two lovers, held apart for far too long, enveloped in the light of a glorious dawn. They both feel it. He's home at last. Are these actual events, or merely a dream? A memory, or a glimpse of what is to come? One thing is certain. This scene takes place in another time and another place, far, far away from Night Springs.
From Night Springs. Bueno, gente, hemos llegado al final de la historia de Alan Wake. Como pueden ver, al final pues derrotamos al señor Chirridos. No fue una pelea, una batalla final tan, no sé, tan interesante como lo pudo haber sido en los DLCs o de pronto en el mismo juego principal, en la primera entrega. Pero pues se llegó a la conclusión de la historia. Por fin Alan logra escapar del mundo oscuro, acabando con el señor Chirridos. Me pareció curioso que el señor Chirridos haya mencionado que, bueno, el señor Chirridos no, o sea, que una de las notas se haya mencionado que hay cosas peores que el señor Chirridos, que él es solo como un vasallo, ¿no? Y que probablemente hayan cosas peores dentro de lo que mencionaban, pues alienígenas que no sé qué tienen que ver con el juego, ¿no? La verdad creo que fue como un apunte ahí como medio loco de la nota que estábamos leyendo. Pero pues nada, como les comenté en algún momento, ya hace mucho tiempo yo había terminado el juego. El juego me había gustado bastante, tanto por su historia como por sus mecánicas. Digamos que en su momento el juego era bastante innovador en el tema de las mecánicas. El primero de pronto le faltó un poco más de pronto diversidad en sus enemigos, eran como muy planos. Pero creo que el segundo corrigió bastante eso, aunque el segundo tuvo un problema bastante ceñido para mí y fue el tema de la repetición de los escenarios. El hecho de tener que pasar 3 veces por un escenario pues hace que se pierda un poco no sé, como, no el hilo de la historia, pero pues sí puede dar a entender como un poco de tal vez, no sé, pereza por parte de los desarrolladores en el hecho de tener que diseñar nuevos, nuevos escenarios. Fuera de esto, pues el juego me parece genial, igual que la primera vez que lo jugué. Rescato su diseño, su ambientación, su historia, mm, todo. Creo que este juego es de los pocos que yo consideraría que tiene unos estándares muy altos dentro de lo que se puede considerar arte en cada uno de sus campos, ¿no? Como les había mencionado en algún momento, para mí los videojuegos, más que un entretenimiento, son un arte, ya que en ellos podemos evidenciar pues arte cinematográfico, literario, imagen, fotografía, música, de todo. Y se me hace que el juego bueno, los juegos hacen una mezcla muy buena de todo. Bueno, no todos, ¿no? No todo se puede considerar excelente, no digo que todos los juegos son excelentes, pero pues sí existen esos que sobresalen por los cuales las personas se llevan en su interior pues un grato recuerdo. En mi caso, pues este fue uno de los juegos que en su momento cuando lo jugué, siempre dije algún día lo tengo que volver a jugar. Y oh sorpresa, pues vean, después de no sé cuántos años he vuelto a jugarlo ahora con un canal, algo que en algún momento pues nunca pensé de pronto llegar a tener, pero a lo cual me animé. Entonces pues nada, yo siempre espero que ustedes disfruten del contenido del canal, de pronto soy un poco fastidioso con el tema de los comentarios. Pero pues nada, lo ideal, o sea, para mí lo mejor de uno poder jugar es sentirse libre, sentirse parte de la historia, sentirse sin ningún tipo de prohibición o cohibirse de nada. Y pues esta es mi forma en la cual yo me divierto también al momento bueno, de jugar, valga la redundancia, a un juego. Ah, vean, un comentario que dice que la aventura de Alan Wake continuará. ¿Ve? Llevamos, no sé, tal vez 8 años esperando a que eso suceda.
No. Al?
Y recordaba esta parte. Pero bueno, muchachos, nada, como les comentaba, espero que hayan disfrutado mucho de la historia de Alan Wake en general. No solo el primer juego, sino esta segunda parte, American Nightmare. Yo la disfruté bastante también. Espero pues verlos próximamente en un nuevo Let's Play.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. There
No
are
sé
places in our world
todavía
where
sobre
fiction
qué
and dreams
juego
can come true,
lo
powered by
vaya a
the dark
realizar.
energies leaking from beyond.
Espero de
These
pronto
places
poder
are a
ver de pronto
battlefield
algo en
in a
los
war between
comentarios,
the
algo que me
powers of
gustaría
light
que
and darkness.
pudiéramos disfrutar. Entonces pues yo creo que nada, muchachos, no siendo mal, les recuerdo,
I'm Alan Wake,
suscríbanse al
a
canal.
writer, a creator.
Estoy
I know
esperando
the rules
ansioso
of the
también
game.
pues
My
todas sus
specialty is fiction that can
observaciones
change the
positivas,
world. Words of
negativas,
power that can bend reality to
pues
my will.
todo
Oh,
lo voy
it's
a
you.
Something horrible is
asimilar
coming.
pues
He's
para
called
poder
Mr.
ser cada día
Scratch.
mejor,
He's
poder
after my
traerles un
wife,
mejor
Alice.
contenido dentro del canal. Entonces
I'm
pues
not
nada,
afraid to be the
muchachos,
center of attention.
recuerden siempre, es algo
I
que
can't
yo
return to the
siempre
real
les
world.
digo,
I've tried,
live to
but I'm
play and
operating
play
on
to
dream
live.
logic,
Vivir
forcing
para
the door
jugar
open a
y
crack so
jugar
I can
para
slip
vivir.
through.
Creo
Fiction
que
wants to
es
come true. All
algo
you
que
need to
nunca
do
me
is
voy a
help it
cansar de
achieve its
hacer.
potential. Under these
Nada,
peculiar,
espero que
exceptional
hayan
circumstances,
disfrutado de
any
este
story,
Let's
any
Play
urban legend,
y
any
espero
lie can come
verlos
true.
próximamente en otro. Y no siendo más, les deseo que tengan una excelente noche, día, mañana, madrugada, tarde, la hora en la cual nos estén observando o me estén observando a mí. Hasta luego, familia.